I do suffer from gear acquisition syndrome. Over the last 18 years I bought 15 cameras. The first one was the Chinon ES1000 pocket camera. After that came two all-in-one Olympus DSLRs. I also bought two bridge cameras. The rest of them were all Olympus pocket cameras. So here is the C990 or D490 from the year 2000. The Olympus C990 Zoom proved to be one of the more durable Olympus models. The plastic feels cheap, but it has lasted, it has never become brittle. This is how it turns on. The memory card is underneath here. The smart media type, 128 megabytes is the largest size you could ever get in that format. The batteries are underneath here, and they are AA type cells. At the time you could get alkaline batteries, and this was the first camera I had that lasted for 20 minutes on alkalines. The other ones were lithiums, throwaway, and they lasted a lot longer, but they were also expensive to buy. The nickel metal hydride batteries that did not self-discharge came years later. The tripod mount seems to have been an afterthought. It has two displays. There's a black and white display on top, and there's a main display here, and as you can see it's quite dark. But it's an LCD which permitted me to frame more precisely if the ambient lighting allowed me to. The basic menu items are already there in a camera from the year 2000. There is a video mode, but only for silent 15-second clips. These slides were taken round about Easter 2001 in Melbourne on the Olympus C990 Zoom. I will not bore you with all the 15 digital cameras that I've had or still have, but I will show you the one of the two bridge cameras that I kept, the Olympus SP570UZ. It is quite a knob encrusted creation, but in 2008 that was the fashion of the time. There is an unmarked round dial in the upper right hand corner in the picture, which is used for EV adjustments, but there is an EV button that you have to select first before you can do anything with it. That unmarked knob also does settings in the control menu. The control panel is effectively a quick menu. You can set sharpness, saturation and contrast, flash strength when the flash is open, all sorts of things, and all of them require that you use the unmarked knob to do the actual adjustment. You got 4 buttons on the side for menu, for instance, erase, change from picture taking to picture viewing. You got the rocker on the right. You got an AEL, FL selection button. I have never used all the custom features on it. Many of the things on the control panel are actually repeated in the normal menu. My feeling now is that it's nice to have, but it just makes things a little bit more complicated. Still, this machine is as rugged as anything. It's built like a brick house. It might last long after my point and shoot cameras have given up. So it's worth keeping. These are camera originals from the SP570UZ Olympus bridge camera. For the first time below $1,000 expenditure, I could get gannets in flight and the Queen Mary from Mount Victoria as she was arriving and departing. Maybe I should mention that the Olympus SP570UZ bridge camera takes 4 AA cells. Here I'm using the Eneloop type, which are nickel metal hydride that don't self-discharge to anything like the extent that the original ones did. Also, it uses XD memory cards. The maximum capacity was 2 GB, and that meant that I could only do 19 minutes worth of VGA video on a single card. So there you are, some pros and cons for the SP570UZ. Along with the SP570UZ, I ran a string of pocket cameras with 3x to 10x zoom, and compared to the 20x zoom on the bridge camera, that was the limitation. All the pocket cameras now have lithium-ion batteries, and that means you got to get spares in order to get through a day's worth of shooting, particularly when video is involved. Since 2011 I started buying pocket cameras with BSI CMOS sensors in them. The electronics associated with them use less current, the battery capacity has gone up as well, so I was able to do videos in real time of up to an hour and a half on a single battery charge. The SH2 also accepts 64 GB memory cards. The other advantage is this model does RAW. There is less sharpening in the JPEGs, and you can get prints of 33x23 inches without black and white halos in them. The last 3 models that I bought in the Olympus SH series have got 16 megapixels BSI CMOS sensors, 24x zoom and 5-axis image stabilisation. The image stabilisation is particularly helpful when I am playing for the City Falkland Morris dancers with the camera mounted on top of the accordion as I am playing. So, do I suffer from gear acquisition syndrome? Of course I do. But each time I get an improvement that is valuable to me. They will have arrived in September. It's now October the 7th. Of course, the action is never where my camera is aiming at.
Enrico, how does Enrico go?
Da, 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 da.